crazy when you think about the legacy and force and you using your grandfather's violin to play those. So have you ever thought about, the similarities between like mastering an instrument and also mastering the force as well too?
Wow, that's such a cool question. Well, I definitely think that both require this strange level of discipline and then letting go of everything you know so that you can allow your own personal connection and style and you can channel, what you're meant to channel. Yeah, it's definitely super similar.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Special cards.
Yeah.
So I remember my questions.
That's very professional.
Thank you.
very
We're trying our best. We're trying our best. Amandla, Manny, thank you both so much for sharing your time with us on the movie podcast today.
Of course.
How are your days going so far?
Good.
Yeah?
They're crazy.
Yeah.
But they're amazing. They're amazing. It was just nice to finally be able to talk about this project.
Yeah, and I think you guys have been living with this for so long, and I'm curious, my first question for both of you, what was that like pinch me moments starting where you really felt like you were part of Star Wars?
When I first saw the Jedi Temple on Coruscant with my own eyeballs, I saw all of the marble and like the lofted ceiling, and I thought about every scene that I've seen take place there and every Jedi Master.
Amazing. Manny, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, so many moments from like before filming, during filming, but even after filming. I think one of the biggest moments we realized that we're doing Star Wars is when we did Star Wars Celebration. We premiered the trailer for the first time for like a select few. And like after that aired, like the crowd went nuts. It was so much love. So yeah, it was a great entry into this Star Wars universe when we were able to finally share that.
So you're not only playing a character in the film, in the show, you're also good. John Williams got to give you some violin arrangements to work on.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about the legacy and force and you using your grandfather's violin to play those. So have you ever thought about, the similarities between like mastering an instrument and also mastering the force as well too?
Wow, that's such a cool question. Well, I definitely think that both require this strange level of discipline and then letting go of everything you know so that you can allow your own personal connection and style and you can channel, what you're meant to channel. Yeah, it's definitely super similar.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like when you were playing those, like those first few notes, what was going through your head? Just like I'm now part of this in a different way, not just starring in a series, but also playing music that has connected so many people.
I mean, at first I was mostly thinking, is this the right tempo? Is my bow work correct? Because it had been a long time since I'd read music on the page. I mostly play by ear now, and the notation on the sheet music was like very particular when it came to bow work and things like that. And when I was rehearsing, I was like, well, maybe I'll put my own spin on. And then I thought, no. I'm going to follow this note by note because it's not every day that John Williams like arranges it for you specifically. And I'm like, well, if John Williams says the bow work is like this and the bow work is like that. Yeah. So I was focused on that at first, but then I tried to relax and just be present and soak in the opportunity. And yeah, I guess it just kind of felt like a culmination of this work that we've done and how being a part of Star Wars has felt in general, which is just like massive and incomprehensible and, a huge blessing. It's
so cool to see that. And Manny, for yourself, I saw you describe your character, Chimera, as Han Solo with no Rizz. Do you see
no one will let that one go now.
Do you see him upping his Rizz this season at all? Like, how do you see him developing this season?
Upping his Rizz. I would love for him to up his Rizz. I would love for him to up his wardrobe, to be honest. Maybe take a shower. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there is so much more to tell in the story after the first 4 episodes. It's really just the first act, and yeah, you get to learn more about him and his philosophies and his relationship with May, and it's a It's a good one.
It's really exciting seeing your dynamic on screen. I also wanted to say seeing Carry-On Moss with a lightsaber doing Force Fu.
Yes.
One of the coolest sequences I think that we've seen in Star Wars. What was that sequence like working together and, putting like kind of like a new spin on Star Wars that we haven't really seen before?
I know, she's so incredible. It's like she just like flicks her wrist and you feel like the weight of the whole universe. Like, she's amazing. I mean, what I learned from Carrie-Anne was, it's very easy to get wrapped up in these technical exhibitions of what you've learned when you're doing stunt work. But she has gotten really good at being so comfortable in herself that she's really expressing herself in her character when she does stunt work. And so I really got to observe that and try to apply that to my own stunt work, particularly as I continued in the series, letting go of everything that I'd learned, and kind of like we were talking about with channeling the Force or playing an instrument, like letting what naturally comes out of me come out of me. But she was incredibly sweet. She was like a mom to me. Like, we'd be at each other's throats on screen, and then we'd go back into the tent, and we actually went to the same church when I was younger. So we'd be like, remember that one song? And then we'd sing it together, and then she would like do Reiki on my knee, and she was like, she was like a mom.
That's incredible. That's like such a small worlds when you see that, something like that happen. I want to ask you, and please feel free to corroborate the story. We spoke to the cast. We spoke like to Daphne Keane, to Charlie Barnett and Rebecca Henderson, and they were implicit that you were like doing squats and crunches in between takes while they were doing the Jedi training.
Manny Jacinto, the wonderful, amazing, incredible, used to be a breakdancer, and he would do sometimes like these dance warm-ups for us.
A Manny War Day was like, I'm going to be tired by the end of
No, I loved Manny. Manny is a nut job. He'd be like, let's do 50 crunches. And you're like, okay.
20 squats while we walk around. I'm like,
he's like, we're crawling. Like, okay.
Like, you have to work for 5 hours.
And then,
was that you like breakdancing on set for them while shooting this series?
I will tell you this. So because I couldn't participate in like the lightsaber training and stuff, but I got to, do my own kind of workout, and I come from a dance background. So what I would do is I would warm them up with a little mini dance class.
He did do that.
And, just get them in the mood, and like, there were long days, and, it's a lot of hard work, but I just wanted to, lighten the mood up a little bit with some grooves.
And I think they appreciated it because they were all just like, we don't know where he gets the stamina from, but they admired it a lot, which was great to hear.
Nice. He was hitting different angles too. We were supposed to follow him, right? And at first it was like simple, and then it was like, and I'm trying to follow him, and I'm looking in the mirror like, I started to feel embarrassed.
You're channeling Force, I think. You were just channeling something else entirely.
That was my pitch to maybe do some stuff in season 2. That's to show them some stuff. Yeah,
I love that.
So you think you can dance?
Yes.
Galaxy edition.
I'm curious for you guys, now that you've been so into this world of Star Wars, have you learned like a really specific fact that you're like, now that I know this, I can't unknow it? Something for me in Phantom Menace, like the music at the end of the parade, it's Palpatine's score, but in a major key. So tying it back to music. So I'm like, every time I hear it now, I'm like, oh, that's a score. Ooh. Is there something for you guys that you've learned that you're like, oh, I didn't know that before?
I mean, for me, it's nothing. I know that Amandla has difficulty running in certain situations with her wardrobe on. That's my only specific inside joke.
Well, I'm thinking about like Wikipedia facts now, and I'm like running through them in my head and trying to like focus on one.
I know it's hard not to talk spoilers as well too, because we don't want to reveal anything else, but
yeah. Well, something that I find really interesting is you mean like about the creation,
or just anything behind the scenes that you've learned now that you're part of this world?
Maybe that on all Star Wars sets, all sides are shredded at the end of the day.
Oh,
And everything that we could potentially have access to is on a secret server.
wow.
And oh no, it's gonna try to get hacked.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna try to hack it. No,
Cut
we're
this
really,
out.
no, but I'm
no.
sure that cybersecurity is top notch. It feels like federal level, like
I believe it.
the
Yes.
Lucasfilm
Yeah.
server, and everyone has an email and password.
Yeah, I wouldn't even ask what you guys took from set because they're probably that's lock and key probably.
Well, like actually, one other thing is the use of the word force is actually very like safeguarded.
Mhm.
Like
That's true, yeah.
Like sometimes I think when we were kind of collaborating on scenes and rehearsing, I was like, can we use the word like force something here?
Yeah.
And Leslie was like, no, we can't do that. It's
Right.
like it's very something that's very
Protected.
protected,
Yeah.
Mhm.
very particular. So
Mhm.
yeah.
There's also like this is something I find interesting that in the prequels the lightsabers are their light comes from CGI.
Right.
Mhm.
And then in the
Yes.
sequels, they're practical. And it just differentiates the kind of fighting style that can be utilized for them. So this one, we actually still have practical lightsabers in that, like, there's an authentic light that comes out of them. But there was some serious finessing and craftsmanship done to create a saber that is lightweight but has a real LED panel in it.
Thank you both so much. We are so appreciative of your time, and we cannot wait to see where the rest of the series goes. So thank you again. We'll hope to talk to you guys soon.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you.